Welcome. I'm Delegate Harri Bhandari. It is my pleasure to introduce and welcome Senator Chris Van Hollen here at our Zoom meeting. And I have to start by saying that Senator Van Hollen and his staff have been a tremendous help to my office over the last couple of years or postal service issues. He and his staff work incredibly hard for the people of Maryland and across the United States. Van Hollen served as a chair of the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, DSCC, from 2017 to 2019. In this post, he was responsible for leading efforts to defend vulnerable Democrats and get more Democrats elected to Congress in 2008. Which he exactly did. We are very lucky to have someone like him in office who not just fight for us on the policy side of things, but also with the everyday struggles our communities face, such as temporary protected status. In Congress, he has been a strong advocate for properly funding education and fair wages for workers. He has fought for clean energy and has been a protector of the Chesapeake Bay. He has worked to protect our elections from foreign interference. And he has been a strong supporter of the Affordable Care Act. As a member of Health and Government Operations Committee, I would like to thank him, his colleagues in Congress, and President Obama for making healthcare a priority and recognizing it as a right. Ladies and gentlemen, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Well, thank you, Harri. And let me start by thanking Harri Bhandari for his friendship. He's been a great partner on so many of our efforts in Maryland, and really salute him for his leadership in the Maryland General Assembly in the House of Delegates. We're very proud of his accomplishments, and I look forward to continuing to work with him. It's great to be on here also with my friend, Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, as well, I think, from the Democratic National Committee, Bell Lung Hung, and Robbie Leonard from Baltimore County Democratic Party, and really with all of you. And I want to thank the Nepalese American community in Maryland and around the country for all the contributions that you make in every and good. I want to thank you because as Harri knows, I grew up many of my early years overseas. My father was in the Foreign Service, and I spent a lot of my early years in South Asia. I lived in India, I lived in Pakistan, I visited the beautiful country of Nepal. But what is wonderful about the United States is that we are home to people who have made the United States home from all over the world. And the Nepalese community has just been great in terms of contributing in so many ways to Maryland and the United States of America. And that brings me to what's at stake in this election, because we know that we have in the White House a president who, from his very first campaign till this moment now, has tried to pull himself up by tearing Americans apart, by tearing people apart and dividing them based on religion, based on race, based on ethnicity. And that's not who we are in this country. This is a country of people like the Nepalese American community who have come from all over the world to make America their home and create opportunities here. I mean, all of us have come, other than the Native American population, to seek opportunities here. And yet we have a president of the United States who tries to drag us apart from one another. And that is why Joe Biden said that what this election is nothing less than the soul of America. I mean, that's what he said when he announced for president. And that's what he's saying now, because Donald Trump does not represent who we are. As our dear departed friend from Maryland, Congressman Elijah Cummings, often used to say during this period of time, we're much better than that. And I believe we are. I believe ultimately in the goodness of the American people. And we need to make sure we summon that goodness and get out to the polls and get every single person to vote right now. Another dearly departed friend of all of us in Congress and a great leader for the country, John Lewis, pointed out that the vote is the most precious and the most powerful tool for change in our democracy. And he was willing to give his life for that. So the very least all of us can do is get out there and cast our votes in this election where everything is on the line. Harri, thank you for mentioning the TPS issue. We know that one of the very first things that Donald Trump did when he came in as president was he eliminated DACA and he eliminated TPS. And it's only because of the courts that we've been able to hold on for as many years as we have. But the courts are not any permanent protection here. We need to make sure we change the law. If the president won't do it, Congress has got to do it. And so we're trying in Congress, but the fastest way right now is to get a new president in the White House and a new vice president, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And the last thing I want to mention is healthcare. Harri mentioned that, and I want to speak to that because we are now, of course, facing this opening in the Supreme Court. We lost a giant of American jurisprudence in the passage of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She helped transform the American legal landscape. Even before she got to the Supreme Court, she knocked down so many of the laws on the books that discriminated against women. But make no mistake, as Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump move to abuse their power in these final weeks before the election, they're trying to stack the court with right-wing ideologues that will rule to take away a lot of the rights that we hold dear. Civil rights, women's rights, workers' rights, and right in the middle of their target is the Affordable Care Act. I just want everybody to remember back a few years ago, the first thing Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell and then Paul Ryan tried to do, as soon as Donald Trump was elected, was to pass a law in the United States Congress to destroy the Affordable Care Act. And it was John McCain and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and a few who, together with all the Democrats, stopped that from happening through the legislature. So what they could not do through the Congress, they're now trying to do through the courts. And in the middle of November, the Supreme Court's going to hear the case to throw out the Affordable Care Act. And Donald Trump and his administration are leading the charge in that case to throw out the Affordable Care Act. And they want more judges on that court who will rule to take away the protections we have. So people who have protections for pre-existing health conditions, the tens of millions of Americans who need the Affordable Care Act, which now provides an opportunity to get health care, even as people continue to lose their jobs during this pandemic. They want to tear up that essential safety net. So that's what's at stake in this court battle. We need to get the word out all over the country. I want to thank the Nepalese American community for being part of the effort to shine light on what's happening. Please continue to talk to your friends, your neighbors, your community leaders, and continue to work in partnership across the country because we need to get out every single vote. Anybody who can vote, who doesn't vote, is letting Donald Trump take power away from them. And I can assure you, Donald Trump would like nothing more than for people to stay home because he somehow discouraged them from voting. So please make a plan to vote. The evidence shows if you got a plan to vote, you're much more likely to vote, and spread the word. So thank you again to the Nepalese American community. Harri, thank you for bringing us together today because the timing of this is so important. The stakes could not be higher, and everybody needs to get out there and, you know, do what John Lewis risked his life for. Vote. Thank you for having me. I'm actually going to have to now turn to another gathering like this. I'm glad that there are many efforts by the Biden-Harris campaign to get out the vote, but the Nepalese American community can make a big difference. Every single vote counts. I'm going to leave with this one story Harri knows. In the state of Virginia, just a very few years ago, there was one state delegate race that tied, and they resolved the tie with a coin toss. And in that case, a Republican legislator won, and that seat in turn determined which party was in charge of the Virginia legislature. We don't want this presidential election to come down to a tie, nor the Senate races. And I just want to end by saying, for all of you who have Senate races in your states, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris need a partner with a majority in the United States Senate. We're going to hold on to our majority in the House of Representatives, but my goodness, we need a Democratic majority in the United States Senate to move forward on some of these key things, like renewing the Voting Rights Act, like justice and policing, like so many other vital issues before us. So thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Senator. We are so very humble and honored to have you here. And our senator is with his busy schedule. And thank you for giving your time to us.
To a whole community. And good afternoon to everyone on the call. Namaste. I'm sorry that we can't be together in person, but at least I am able to meet with you virtually. And I want to just begin by saying it's great to see so many friends and familiar faces, like Senator Van Hollen, who I served with on the Ways and Means Committee when he was a congressman, Mayor Taj from my district, and Councilmember Ramoso. I want to start by just saying that this weekend has been a sad one for me. Just as Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an icon, and as Senator Van Hollen said, she was a giant in jurisprudence. As a litigator, she led a revolution, and as a jurist, she authored groundbreaking decisions that made millions of Americans more free and more equal. Truly just an amazing woman. And while I've been a little bit sad this weekend, well, actually really for all of 2020, it's kind of been a sad time. It's a stark reminder of what brings us here together today, what unites us here in this Zoom call today. And that is the fact that we have to keep fighting. That's what Ruth Bader Ginsburg would want us to do. And so, you know, we are here today to talk about action and what we can do to change the circumstances under which we find ourselves. I know that there are many folks on this call, and many of you may not know me because you're not constituents of mine, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a product of Southern California. I was born here, and I'm proud that I have represented working families here in California for more than 18 years. Like many of you on this Zoom call, I am the daughter of immigrant parents who arrived in this country without knowing English, without much money in their pockets, but they worked hard, and they sent all 7 of their children to college and 2 of their daughters to the United States Congress. I worked as a labor lawyer until I decided to run for Congress, and I ran for Congress at a time when other people told me to just sit down and wait my turn. But ever since my heels hit the halls of Congress, I've fought for those who don't have a voice. I've fought for working families, for women who were paying double for their healthcare insurance, for young adults who were being crushed with student loan debt. And I'm also a mom, so I understand what it means to be a working parent, trying to raise a family and be a virtual teacher at the same time. My family, my mom and dad and 6 brothers and sisters and I, we opened our arms to embrace Los Angeles and make our home here. They embraced America. They embraced freedom and hard work and opportunity. and of course, baseball as well. So if there are any Dodgers fans on this call, you are in good company. But as the children of immigrants, with every step that we take, we realize that our success honors the sacrifices of our parents, and it honors the opportunity that this great country offered to our families. I'm sure that you know all about that, right? Hard work is part of the fabric of the immigrant experience, and it's families like ours that are the backbone of this country. In the words of our next president, Joe Biden, Wall Street didn't build America, you built America. Working men and women, immigrants, unions, and frontline workers. You're the ones who risk your lives to bring us back after a major storm or a heat wave or even a raging wildfire. But my friends, that hard work is far from over, because today we're facing something that is unlike anything that we've seen in our lifetimes with COVID-19. And it's been made so much worse by a catastrophic failure of leadership in our executive branch. And now we, the citizens, are left to pay the gut-wrenching price. Nearly 200,000 Americans are dead, and millions are out of work and fighting just to keep their heads above water. We're working to heal the deep wounds of systemic racism and racial inequality. And each day it seems like the Trump administration spews more and more anti-immigrant rhetoric and further tries to destroy our immigration system. And I can't forget to mention that while we are fighting against COVID-19, President Trump's administration is in court right now trying to eliminate Obamacare and rip health insurance away from millions of Americans. Yet all that the president seems to be concerned about is his next tea time. And I have to say, quite frankly, that Republicans in Congress are no better. They're just wishing these problems away. And as a member of Congress, I know that I'm supposed to keep my cool and I'm supposed to be rational, but I have to tell you that this makes me so angry. Americans are dying and people are hurting. And in the face of this crisis, Republicans simply put down their heads and they say nothing. And it doesn't have to be this way. In fact, we have a message for Donald Trump. This election isn't about one person. This is about all of us. This is about the American people. We need steady leadership. We need a firm hand. And that's why we need to put Joe Biden in the White House to restore the soul of our nation. And it's not going to be easy. We are going to face obstacles at every turn. And sometimes it's just exhausting to deal with the chaos of this president. But Joe Biden knows that science is real. He understands that immigrants get the job done. He believes women. And I know that he is going to work hard every single day on behalf of every single American. If we elect Joe Biden as our next president and Democrats up and down the ballot, we can build a nation more prosperous, not just for those who are already doing well, but for everyone, for all of us. We can protect a woman's right to make her own decisions about her body, because for women, access to reproductive health care is an economic issue. We can protect the rights of workers to organize in an economy that is quickly changing and leaving far too many families behind. We can protect people from discrimination, no matter who they love or how they identify. And we can make sure that every American has decent, safe, and affordable housing to live in. Every organized community like yours is so important to this fight. Your work in the community and on behalf of the local community, that is how real change happens. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you've done so far to mobilize and get out the vote. Keep fighting, find your power, use your voices, and together we can win in November. Even on our darkest days, and these days have looked pretty dark recently, I know that the best of America still lies ahead. So thank you for being with me in this fight. Thank you for reaching out to others in your community. And as Senator Van Hollen said, continue to reach out to your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, your coworkers. Please impress upon them the importance of every single vote this election cycle. Every vote will matter. You as a community have power, use that power, and we will see brighter days ahead for this country. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you today. God bless.
Thank you, Congresswoman Sanchez. We are so humble and proud to have you here.